tonight, but Rebecca sent some mocha latte, so I am going to cheat. Once I can get this darn thing open, I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to use a K-cup, because later in the day, I know these are probably filled with sugar, but that's okay. I need some sugar. I hope everybody's doing well. I have some information about, everybody's been talking about this whole thing with, our United States basically challenging TikTok here in this country. And it's really, I don't know how to quite say it. Like, it is bad. Right now, it is really, really bad as far as TikTok, because they may actually lose the app. Hey, big boy, Southern Grammy, it's nice to see you. Slation, love it. Chris, Rebecca, thank you. By the way, I'm taking this to Tennessee. I just want to let you know, I'm taking it to Tennessee. So, I actually talked to Olivia. Thank you, by the way. I got the coffee. I'm making coffee right now. It's the mocha latte stuff. This stuff is so good. Holy smokes, this stuff is so good. Sandy, Mr. and Mrs. Car Guy, first, whoop whoop. Hey, big boy. GLB, Lisa B. Always. It's nice to see you, Donna, Bar, Bren. Oh, hey, Bren. It's been a little while. Well, TikTok does. I get it. It does suck. But listen, they were just before our Congress saying, hey, wait a minute. We've got secured. We got our servers in Texas. We've got a headquarters in California. There's nothing to see over here, right? I mean, that's what we keep hearing. There's nothing to see over here. And then, they decided to move forward with it. We have bipartisan. I have to tell you, when I'm talking true crime, sometimes you get censored a little bit. You got to be careful with the words you use, and stuff like that. But I've never had any real, I know about the words, but I've never felt censored on their platform. But I've never really talked about politics or anything like that on their platform. And I don't know how other people are doing it, but, they literally limit greatly. They literally limit the exposure of, say, political topics or other type of topics and stuff like that. And they've been monitoring it. But we're going to read the article so everybody kind of is in the know. Hey, The Real Me Too, it's nice to see you. Amanda, Penny, it's nice to see you. Debbie, Karen, hey, Karma's mom. Gigi, it's nice to see you, my love. I hope everybody's doing wonderful this Sunday. It's a great day. Isn't it a great day? It's been a blessed day. Oh, shoot, I got the wrong one hit. I'm so used to doing my latte. I hit the latte button, and I shouldn't have hit the latte button. I should have just hit the other coffee button. There we go. I brought Little Squirt's bed into the chair next to me because I'm already in the kitchen making this, so I might as well stay with you guys in here. And not only that, she went over to the neighbors and ran with Emily and everything like that. So she's pretty tuckered. We had a fairly eventful day. So I'm really pleased with that. She's getting so big. Olivia saw her. I talked to Olivia today. It was nice. Hey, JD, it's nice to see you. SPED teacher, it's nice to see you too, my love. Truth in Time, hey, honey. West Virginia Holler Girl, it's nice to see you. So, I keep wondering. So here's the issue behind it. Everybody's saying, well, no big deal. That they have to sell to an American-based company, at least TikTok will survive, right? But it's not like that. They're not going to sell their algorithm. So that means everybody in the United States that, that works and, gets the platform. Did I forget to hit it? There we go. That gets the platform, they're not going to be out. They're not going to have the same algorithm that gets you out like what their main stuff does. So it's going to be abysmal failure if they sell to an American-based company because they're not going to have the algorithm, and the algorithm is TikTok, right? But TikTok has been maintaining that they have not been sharing our data with the Chinese. That's been their biggest thing. Look, we've got a database. We're Singapore. We're from Singapore. Remember, I don't know if you guys watched that or not. But we're Singapore. We're not Chinese, and that's what they were saying before Congress, and said, oh, by the way, we have our systems and our storage in Texas. We've spent a lot of money to make sure that everything's over here in America. What's the deal? And they're like, well, you have our users' information and you can share it. And, people downplay the use of our information, but we don't know what it's being used for, one. And we may think that we're not very valuable, but we don't know what the Chinese really have in store for the American people, right? Are they going to hack into our private banking? Are they going to know, enough about us and our past? You never know. You never know. I get it, okay? And being, I'm not one way. I'm on TikTok too. I have one of the largest, my largest platform, in all fairness, is TikTok, right? I'm about to crest over 150,000 people, and I don't even really use it that much. So it's it's a little problematic, for this. So I understand that there are people that aren't like me, that like YouTube, like if this was going on with YouTube, I'd be freaking out. You know what I'm saying? Because YouTube by far is one of my larger, my main platforms. Okay, it's my main platform. Let's be honest. Don't mind my mess. I'm gonna let you guys see my mess behind me. I didn't bother cleaning up. There's my plate of food. Half-eaten food right there. And then there's the box that we just got from Rebecca, the mocha latte, and that's, the spray butter. If anybody's interested, what's going on in Bullhorn Betty's house. I just thought I'd point everything out that was the obvious, okay? And those right there are my lasagna pans. The reason why I turn them upside down is because I can't stand dust inside them. And I have nothing big enough to hold them. So they're up there. If you're just curious. I mean, people are curious. They like to know about my life. So it's nice to see everybody. So I wanted to read this to you because I think this will explain it. But the problem is now we've got problems. The way it was being presented to Congress, to the oversight committees and stuff like that, which is bipartisan. They had Democrats and Republicans saying, no, we're not going to give you access to this. And they're saying, oh, well, we're Singaporean. We're not, Chinese and all this other stuff. And they promised that they don't sell or use our information, and our private personal user information is not being shared with China. Well, apparently it is. So we are learning. And this is going to be a problem. And the reason why I say this is going to be a problem is because that's what they were looking for. That's the nail in the coffin. Because they're saying that they're concerned that our private information is going to be shared with Chinese. And they're saying, no, it's not going, there's no possibility of us being able to share their private information with Chinese. And then boom, we find out that that's not true. So I'm just going to read this article to you guys. I figured that this will probably help. This is from Fortune magazine. I know you guys have read it. This came out this morning, but is this going to be the end of TikTok? This has me very concerned because now that they actually have some meat to the bone now, that they are communicating with China, I think TikTok's doomed. I really do. I don't think TikTok in America is going to survive this. I don't think, and if they do sell, again, we're going to come across the issue of the algorithm. The algorithm is not going to be the same. And so many people on this platform, just like me, have multiple channels on multiple different platforms. One of them is TikTok. And I can tell you, when I need to rely on TikTok, TikTok does Bullhorn Betty well. Whenever I had to go over to TikTok when we were going through all the stuff with the channel here on this, if it wasn't for TikTok for several months, it would have been, oh, did you cancel Netflix? Here we go with the canceling Netflix. Listen, everybody has a right to, we're in America. But you know what? In America, you get to choose who you want to spend your money with, too. So it goes both ways. But we are in America, and I just want to remind everybody that everybody is allowed to vote and see whether I agree with it or not. I'm going to vote the way I am, and I'm going to speak the language I speak because that's just how I feel, and I just come real with it. And sometimes it hurts people's feelings, even people I love, but it doesn't change the fact that these are how I believe, you know? And again, you're not going to be able to scream my moral compass out of me. I mean, you're just not. But this was one I didn't think was going to go through, but now I really kind of think TikTok's in trouble. I really do. So let me just get through this, and then we'll chat just a little bit on it, and I'll get your guys' perspective and everything. We have 365 people in chat right now, but only 65 likes. If all of you guys would do me a great favor and go out there and give me a thumb up, come back in here, tell me what number you are, where you're from, maybe what the temperature is, or what you like or don't like about the area you're in. Maybe we'll change it up. Maybe you could tell us what's the most popular thing to do in your area. There we go. So let us know how you guys are doing today. I like TikTok. You know what I don't like about TikTok? I don't like that I am censored in my own opinions. Like, I'm not even allowed to have an opinion on TikTok. And that to me is so un-American. And you're saying you got your crap right here on our soil. Well, then I would have to think if you got your crap here on our soil, you should be following at least our Constitution. Just saying. So I really have problems with the censorship on TikTok. Very, very much so. So much so that I think that they are, that if this will pass, you know, they're deserving of a class action. Just me personally, because if they're doing this to me, they're doing it to millions and millions and millions of other people. I heard we have something like 100 and some odd million people on TikTok. I'll read this article. I think it lists the amount in here. So it says, in a fresh broadside against one of the world's most popular technology companies, the Justice Department late Friday accused TikTok of harnessing the capability to gather bulk information on users based on views on decisive social media issues like gun control, abortions, and religion. Government lawmakers, it's nice to see you. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. And I'll come back and read some of your comments here in just a second. Government lawyers wrote in a document filed to the Federal Appeals Court in Washington that TikTok and its Beijing-based company, parent company ByteDance, used an internet web suite system called Lark to enable TikTok employees to speak directly with ByteDance engineers in China. TikTok employees used Lark to send sensitive data about the U.S. users information that has wound up being stored on Chinese servers and accessible to ByteDance employees in China, federal officials said. One Lark's internal search tool, the filing states, permits ByteDance and TikTok employees in the U.S. and China to gather information on users' content or expressions, including videos on sensitive topics such as abortion or religion. Last year, the Wall Street Journal reported TikTok had tracked users who watched LGBTQ content throughout a dashboard the company said it had since deleted. The new court documents represent the government's first major defense in the consequential legal battle over the future of the popular social media platform, which is used by more than 170 million Americans. Under a law signed by President Joe Biden in April, the company could face a ban in a few months if it does not break ties with ByteDance. The measure was passed with bipartisan support after lawmakers and administration officials expressed concern that Chinese authorities could force ByteDance to hand over U.S. data or sway public opinion toward Beijing's interests by manipulating the algorithm that populates users' feed. The Justice Department warned in stark terms for potential for what it called covert content manipulation by the Chinese government, saying the algorithm could be designed to shape content that the users receive. By directing ByteDance or TikTok to covertly manipulate that algorithm, China could, for example, further its existing malign influence operation and ample effort to undermine trust in our democracy, exacerbate social division, the brief states. So they're stating that they're using this for social division. And I have to agree that I've come across some of that as well, because they'll allow Biden's stuff on their platform, and it doesn't matter whether it's misinformed or true or correct or anything. But as long as it's Biden, they will allow it on their platform. But the minute you say Trump, even when I did the Durrell International, the Trump Durrell International, do you know they flagged that? To tell people to get information about voting. It had nothing to do with Donald J. Trump. It just happened to have his name in the title of Trump Durrell International. And it was literally me driving on the campus. It had no political ties or affiliations with any type of voting stuff, but they did it anyways. And so I find that a little odd, and I can understand how they are using the algorithm to manipulate people, how they can use it to exacerbate social division with certain wedge issues. And I truly believe that that's what they used that platform for in 2016 all the way up until 2020. I truly do. Because there was a lot of people that were misinformed. 2064. Did you do a typo, or were you just... Hey, Cheeky Chops, it's nice to see you, my love. So I can see it. The concern the Justice Department said is more than theatrical, alleging that TikTok and ByteDance employees are known to engage in practice called heating, in which certain videos are promoted in order to receive certain number of views. While this capability enables TikTok to curate popular content and disseminate it more widely, U.S. officials posit it can it's POSIT. I posit or posit. I don't know. Can also be used for nefarious purposes, and I can agree with that. We all can. We know that algorithm is very important. And while we, for us, we use it for true crime and things related to true crime. Trump is immoral. I love that. I love that. Hey, Rodney, it's nice to see you. Always read the terms of an app. Don't accept terms. Don't trick. Don't tick. Yeah. He dodges death like a Top Gunner. He's like a cat. He's got 9 lives. He's a lion, right? He's a lion. He's a feline. This is not looking good. I can tell you that if they exchanged anything with China, I truly believe TikTok's is got a nail in its coffin. I really do. Nefarious purposes, yeah. But you know what? I do believe. I've seen some topics. That's why I don't really hang out on TikTok. I use the platform to do my commentary. Use some of the tools to get certain effects on videos. I put a lot of my searches and stuff because people on TikTok love the little 3-minute search videos and stuff like that. They really enjoy that. So I put those on there, all of my longer stuff, which I'm on here. As you guys know, I can talk, right? And I can talk about a subject matter. And, when I'm on here, I get the ability to do, hour-long stuff. I'm not limited to 10 minutes like I am through the videos on TikTok. So it's just differing of creators, like Olivia loves the 3 to 10 minute videos that she can create on TikTok. She's been very successful on TikTok. And quite frankly, I've got a large audience there on TikTok. Not as large as Olivia. Olivia's got several million people on TikTok. Her and I were talking today, and I was just like, you really needed to really start converting over to YouTube, because, this does not look good. The TikTok ban would silence 170 million American voices, violating the First Amendment, and that's what the one of the people say. Harek said, as we've said before, the government has never put forth proof of its claim, including when Congress passed the unconstitutional law. Today, once again, the government is taking this unprecedented step and hiding behind secret information. We remain confident we will prevail in court. Again, if there's any possibility of them communicating or China having access to our private information, I don't see it being successful. I really don't, unless we're not looking at something, because our national safety is more concerning. You got to remember, it's not just about us little peons, right? It's about other people, other high, we have a lot of stars, elitists on TikTok, right? So we got to think they can't shape the rules for one set of our country without shaping the rules for the other set of the country. You see what I'm saying? So we're not understanding, why they're doing this. Is because they can't say, oh, if anybody that makes $100,000 or more, you can't track, but anybody under $100,000, have your way with them. It doesn't work like that. So it's just one of those. Did I get that? I thought I should. Okay, perfect. So I just wanted to put that. Hey, B. Betty. Hey, Sonia. It's nice to see you. Sue, SI officer. It's nice to see you. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it'll survive? I mean, I really, really don't know. It said in a redacted version of the court documents, the Justice Department said another tool triggered the suppression of content based on use of certain words. Certain policies of the tools applied to ByteDance users in China were where the company operated a similar app called Douyin that followed Beijing's strict censorship rules. Like, you can't say kill or use the word gun on there. And it's like, why can I use murder, but I can't use the word kill? It's word salad to me. I mean, I can understand, you saying the difference between crap and, the S word. I mean, I can understand, if they wanted to do that. But no, you can say the F-bomb. You can call somebody an SOB. You can say whatever the heck you want, degrading, demeaning, and everything else. But let you say Trump. Good gracious. Let you say gun. Let you say kill. Like, you gotta play this word salad. Like, they're going to be unalived. They're going to be unalived, right? So Olivia and I are talking about, because we're going to be covering the Trump shooting, and she's very much different than me. She is definitely not a political person. She's definitely a millennial and everything that comes along with that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. LPW Stage 3 Survivor. Stage 3 Survivor. Congratulations on that. Thank you for gifting 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships, please don't forget to tell LPW thank you. And tell her congratulations for being a survivor. God bless you. God bless you. So, I get many people's concern. JC World of Wonders, never know what's next. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So this is why I'm wondering, is this really over? Because I'm starting to think that the more that they're going to be finding this, unless this is just, trying the case in public's opinion versus in the courtroom, this could be trial strategy for the United States of America. I don't know. But when I see bipartisan on something, and then you're assured, like I watched because it does affect me. Let's be honest with you. Again, I am on the app. I am very curious about what's going on with the app because again, it is my fail safe. You know, when I have some issues or I'm jammed up on YouTube, I can go over to TikTok and survive, right? So it is, you know, it does affect me. This whole thing does affect me, but in all fairness, my keeping my stuff out of China is very important to me. Okay, it's not like I really think that any, but what if? Like we don't know what's in our future, right? We have no earthly idea where we're going to be. What if one of you guys become a senator or a congressman somewhere? I mean, you don't know what's in your future until you get there. And now China has all your information from when you were nobody and now you're somebody and now you got to worry about it. So we can't have that going on in our country. We can't have, you know, we have some major issues here. We know we have election interference because our elections affect the world. So we have things like Germany, or not Germany, excuse me, Russia, trying to infiltrate our elections. You know, they're trying to put out false narratives and information to create wedge issues with the American people. And we think they're coming from places over here. Well, they're not. They're basically worldly trolls, if you will, for lack of better terms, so we can all kind of understand, right? And so the Chinese does the same thing. And so I really do think that this is being manipulated. I've seen it myself. I feel like they are onto something here. And if that's the case, and I feel it, and we know that it has happened, then it could very well be the end. And I don't necessarily mean the end like there won't be a TikTok version, American TikTok version. It's just not going to be the same. That's the problem. Because they're never going to sell the algorithm. You know, they will never sell that algorithm. The company will not be the same. There's no possibility of it being the same once it comes to America. Unless American company buys the whole darn ByteDance. And I don't see that happening. And I don't see the Chinese giving that up. I still can't believe. You guys, did I tell you that this was one of the first things I put on my wish list? And I finally, after like 4 years, I got the Machete. And I'm taking it to Tennessee. When I go out there searching, I'm taking the Machete to Tennessee. And then I don't have to worry if a crazy snake pops up, I'll pop, get it, right? I got my walking stick too, but this has like a little belt loop on it. I'll be like the female version of Crocodile Dundee. I'll be out in the woods getting the vines out. Chop, 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 right? We've been out in the swamps. We've been out in some places. I tell you what, this has been a thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. This has been a long time coming. I will tell you, I will value this because you have no earthly idea how many times we've been out in swamps or in the woods, and Olivia and I would look at each other and we'd be like, I wish we had a machete. You know? This is going in the vehicle. We're going to have a machete. Machete Betty. We're officially, after 3 years of being called Machete Betty, right? After 3 years of being called Machete Betty, might as well, almost 4 years now. Might as well give them, you know, they've been waiting for a long time to finally get the picture. Here it is. It's official. Machete Betty. We have a bedhead Betty, Krabby Betty. What is it? We got I don't know. I can't remember all the Bettys we have. We got Bullhorn Betty. We got Strangler Betty. We've got Machete Betty. We've got Bedhead Betty. We got Sweaty Betty. We have a whole line of dolls. You know, I got to start working on each of the designs. But yeah, we have a whole Betty line. I think we're going to call it Sweaty Betty. Why not? Sounds cool to me. What are you eating? Oh, hi. You want to say hi to everybody, or are you just coming over here to bark at me and be mean? So you want me to hold you in my hands? You want some mocha latte? You want some mocha latte? All right, come here. Aw, my pretty girl. Oh, and then you run. Well, you said you want. Okay, come here. Come here. Here we go. Yay! There she is. There's my girl. I figured instead of her crying, we might as well just go ahead and put her up here. Let's see if we can put you next to me. You want to get in your bed? There you go. Perfect. Don't try to jump out or I will beat your little booty. Big booty Judy. Big booty Judy. So let me see if we got anything else here in a redacted version. I think we got through that. So I think that, oh, here we got a whole nother part of here. So it says, but the Justice Department official said other policies may have been applied to TikTok users outside of China. TikTok was investigating the existence of these policies and whether they had ever been used in the U.S. or in and around 2022, officials say. The government points to a LARC data transfer to explain why federal agents do not believe that Project Texas, TikTok's $1.5 billion mitigation plan to store U.S. user data on servers owned and maintained by the tech giant Oracle, is sufficient to guard against national security concerns. In its legal challenges against the law, TikTok has heavily leaned on the arguments that potential ban violates the First Amendment because it bars the app from continuing speech unless it attracts a new owner through a complex divestment process. It has also argued divestment would also change the speech on the platform because the new social media platform would lack the algorithm that has driven its success. See, it's not going to be sold with the algorithm. In its response, the justice system argued TikTok has not raised any valid free speech claims, saying the law redresses national security concerns without targeting protected speech. They don't protect our speech. So that's not even a legitimate argument. I bet you they can trample up literally 2 million people to talk about how they're being censored on the very platform that they're raising First Amendment. But they're saying they're not even raising the First Amendment concerns. So without targeting protected speech, and argues that China and ByteDance is a foreign entity and aren't shielded by the First Amendment. TikTok has also argued the U.S. law discrimination on viewpoints, citing statements from some lawmakers is critical to what they view as anti-Israel tilts on the platform during its war in Gaza. So they can really be they can really be inciting people to get out in the roads. And, like we had Palestinian protests and Israel protests over here on, like, this is not our war. We have nothing to do with the war over there, and we shouldn't have anything to do with the war. And if we do, we shouldn't, It's just very, very simple. What's going on with you? You want down? You want up? What's the deal here? You want to go play? You want to get a treat? I don't get what's the deal? Do you need to go potty? Is that why you're crying? Do you have to go potty? We're trying to learn communication, okay? It works sometime, but she is whining. Oh, her belly does feel a little full, but I'm scared to go out there. Maybe we'll go out there together. Aww. Are you full belly? You got a full belly? But anyways, that's really, let me see if they have any more stuff. They still have more stuff. Dad burn it. And I just lost the rest of it because it just took me back too far. So, let's see if I can go back. Okay, here it is. Oh, it must have just added a couple of advertisements here. Let me see what else they have. Yes, here it is. It says the Justice Department officials dispute that argument, saying the law at issue reflects their ongoing concern that China could weaponize technology against U.S. national securities, a fear they say made worse by demands that company under Beijing control turn over sensitive data on the government. Let me take her outside, guys. We have a couple more things to go over related to this, but she really needs to go to the bathroom. I'm so sorry. It's either you guys wait for me or we have to shut the live down, and I'm not ready for the live to be shut down yet. So just bear with me. Potty, potty. Yeah, he was so good today. Let's go potty. Oh, you're not going to go out in the rain, are you? You want to go out in the rain? You're not going out in the rain. Okay, so you're just going to have to potty on the potty pads. It's pouring down rain, guys. You won't go outside. Here, you're going to have to potty on the potty pads. All right, I didn't realize it was pouring down rain, so you guys might have to just hear her cry because she won't settle down. I think she just needs to go to bed or something. I don't know. So they're concerned. That's what they're saying. They're basing it on national security concerns. We also have that whole. You remember CrowdStrike, and we said that there was just something odd about CrowdStrike. Remember that whole conversation? Well, listen to this. CrowdStrike actually got basically a ransom, which is weird because they're supposed to be cybersecurity, and I think it might be weird, but I think CrowdStrike, they had multi-billion-dollar claims against their company over that, and I wonder if CrowdStrike was actually. If it was actually a cyber strike and they just didn't want to say it because they went through this whole illusion about how it was this update and this update had something, and usually it does, this search before it's released, but on this one it was released, and by the time, it got there, whatever. So hold on, let me go to CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike hacker. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, to leak sensitive information. Listen to this. I keep wondering, did they lie to us? Did they really have a major cyber attack that brought our all of our stuff to its knees? And still, if it was a cyber attack, it makes you wonder what those cyber attackers were doing to. Oh, hey, Mickey, it's nice to see you. Or is it Mikey? Mikey or Mickey? Anyways, it's nice to see you, love. Did they do that to scrub the internet? I still believe it's too close in the proximity of when Trump was shot and right after the RNC, literally people leaving the RNC, and people can't even use their credit cards, can't use the bank, can't use the planes, can't use nothing. I hear government entities were a part of that, even though they were never listed. So it makes you wonder, how much does this CrowdStrike infiltrate all of our systems across this world? And listen to this. The cybersecurity company CrowdStrike said Wednesday evening that some of the company's private information on hackers it tracks has been posted online, and that the hackers behind the leak has threatened to release information that it's even more sensitive. CrowdStrike is one of the top cybersecurity companies in the U.S. hunting and monitoring hacker groups in an effort to keep clients' computer systems safe. It doesn't sound like they can even keep their own computer systems safe, which, again, makes me wonder. The information in the leak echoes data that CrowdStrike released publicly. It lists 244 notable hacker groups with the month and the year that they were last seen, whether they are retired, active, inactive, their country of origin, how many industries they have targeted, how many countries they have targeted, and whether they have hacktivists and cyber criminals or working for a government. But the hackers also claim to have stolen a list of indicators of compromise, which includes digital evidence that cybersecurity experts combed through to trace a hacker's group's handiwork. Hackers routinely threaten to leak private files and post samples they claim are evidence, often either exaggerating or lying about what they found. It is unusual, however, for a major cybersecurity company to publicly acknowledge such a claim without refuting it. The identity of the hacker or hacker group, which uses the name US DoD, which as many of us believe that would be the US Department of Defense, is unknown, and they may be an operation run by multiple people. They post the internal database Wednesday on breach forums, the most prominent English language hacker forum. CrowdStrike, one of the top cybersecurity companies in the US, noted in a blog post that the list was already available to tens of thousands of customers, partners, prospects, and hundreds of thousands of users. I don't believe that. Maybe some of it was, but it seems like they're a little worried about what's going on. CrowdStrike announcement comes just days after the company took responsibility of one of the worst mass computer crashes in history. Pretty ironic that we have all these notable things that go down in history happening in real close proximity to one another. We've never had these things go on in history. And then boom, it's like a domino effect. Boom, 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 boom. Seems pretty interesting how close in proximity. You know, a law enforcement agent told me once a long time ago, there's no such thing as coincidences. And I still believe that to this day. So it's still running that it had a coding error that crashed 8.5 million Windows computer. Many needed it to be tedious, fixed by hand, and resulting in a chaos effect. Everything from Paris Olympic tickets, which we could care less about. Burn those tickets. Okay, burn those tickets. And you know what? I was just talking to my mom, and it's like, you know, and I'm just going to say it like it is. I have my, you know, moral values and everything, but I've never been disrespectful to the way somebody chooses to live their life. I don't condemn them, you know, just because they live a different lifestyle than what I biblically believe. It doesn't give me the right to treat them any different than anybody else. You know, that's just my personal viewpoint, and it's my problem, right? So I never treat anybody differently. I think everybody should live their life the way they want to live their life, and in harmony the way they choose to live. That's the American dream. That's what America offers each and every person. But I've never disrespected a group of people. I might have been disrespectful to one person or another person, but I can tell you it had nothing to do with their leanings one way or another. If they're a jerk to me, I'm going to be a jerk to them. That's just how I roll, you know? And quite frankly, I think that is probably as fair as I can be, right? Anybody. Doesn't really matter if you're black, white, green, pink, yellow with orange polka dots. It doesn't matter to me, okay? But I've never gone out of my way to be disrespectful to anyone, okay? To anybody in the LGBTQ community. I have friends that are in the LGBTQ community. I have, you know, friends that are, I've got family members that are bisexual. You know, I have it's a melting pot here, you know? So I just found it very poor that somebody would go, or anybody would go out of their way to hurt an entire group of people or mock our Lord and Savior. I would never mock somebody on the other side like they just did. I would never do it. I would think that would be in poor taste, and I would probably speak out much like I'm doing right now. Because we all have our own opinions, and it doesn't mean that we treat people differently. It doesn't mean that we don't love thy neighbor because we have a differing of opinion. You know, I live my life for me. They have a right to live their life for them. And who am I to tell them how to live their life, right? It's not something that, you know, I'm a believer of the Bible, and it is what it says what it says, okay? But at the end of the day, I truly support everybody living their life the way that they choose to live it. And I would never want to be disrespectful or hurt anybody because they live differently than me. And for somebody to actually be so disrespectful to a whole group of people that would never treat them like they just treated them, it's just very sad. I don't think anybody should be mocking any religion. You know, I just feel like religion should be off the table. because we are, and not only that, but you're talking about the Olympics, and you've got literally every walk of life there. From people that believe in Christ to people that believe in what is it, Allah, you know. But you have all different. This the Olympics. Like you're literally all over the world. Like how could they? So I haven't watched the Olympics in years. This is just another thing that I will never watch again. I don't think they'll ever recover. They could have this go on for the next 100 years. I'll never watch them. Because there's nothing that you can do to recover from that for me. If you're willing to go there and willing to do it on such a worldwide stage, well, then the worldwide stage needs to shut you off. And I hope people do. And it's really sad because I can tell you that disgusting display does not represent even 50% of the people that are there competing. Yet, I guarantee more than 50% that were there competing were highly offended by that production. It was horrible. It was horrible. Now, did it have anything to do with the drag queens? No, it didn't have anything. It was the mocking. They could have done something very, very beautiful. They could have made it so beautiful, and they chose to make it so ugly. And that's the bad part about it. And I really, truly, I think it was at that moment when I saw the Olympics, I really do believe we are in our end of time. I believe we are in, when this becomes okay and celebrated, we're in trouble. In all fairness, we're in trouble. I believe we need to bring Christian values back to America. I think we need to live more in the light of God. I really do. I mean, everybody has working. I'm not perfect. That's one thing I say on my channel, to say that it's okay to be imperfect because we're all imperfect. There's no perfect being except one, and he doesn't walk the earth right now. So I believe he is coming, but I've got to tell you, all this hate that we're seeing every single day, and in normal people, I call us the crazy group because it just seems like normal is now considered crazy, and crazy is considered normal. Just like evil is now, seems good, and good is now evil. It's like, I can't get how this happened so quickly, but it does show me that evil does exist. It shows me that the devil has their hands on America and the people in America, and we have got to turn back at some point. We need to be one nation under God. We've got to turn. I'm telling you guys, this is no joke anymore. I mean, you've got the freaking Olympics mocking Christianity. When is enough enough? You know what? When that happened, America should have pulled out every single person from the Olympics. I'm sorry. Whether those people worked their heart out to be there or not, at some point, America needs to take a stand. And what was just displayed, I can guarantee if I was president or there was any president that had a freaking backbone, the minute that happened, every single one of our U.S. Olympians would have been pulled from the Olympics. Period. We do not support nonsense like that. And we should have taken a solid stand for our Christian values here in America. And once again, the commander-in-chief has failed. Has absolutely failed. We should have the American people should have made a spectacle out of this. And there would have been no spectacle like us pulling every single American from competition. They would have been upset, and you know what? I get it. But at the end of the day, there are certain times we have an opportunity to shine in strength. And I'm so sick and tired of cowering in failure. We need more, but more importantly, we need God. And I pray that everybody is safe and sound. I pray everybody is able to live their life the way they want to live their life. And I pray that they have as much tolerance for me and for my values as I do for them and their values. And it's pretty crappy that they expect me to value and respect them without the same cooperation. That's not fair. That's not honorable. That doesn't show integrity. I'm very disappointed in Paris. I'm very disappointed in France. But you know what? French people, they spit on Americans. I bet many people didn't know that. They do not like Americans. Even though we have good relationship with them on a worldwide stage, the citizens do not like Americans for whatever reason. So if they're going to be so disrespectful to America, then why are they going to be continue to be our ally? My cousin was there, and he was spit on several times. My cousin travels all over the world. So he was spit on several times. He was there with his girlfriend. He's like, I don't know what it is about the French people. If they find out you're American, they spit on you. Like, really? Huh? I don't know where he was. Hey, I've never been to France. This is what I was told by my cousin. And he was a chef. Now, could he have pissed somebody off? It's possible. Apparently that's what they do when they're pissed off. That's what I hear. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Yeah. It's just a shame. I just think it was in poor taste, and not only that, it was so disrespectful, and even if they think some people in the religion are disrespectful to them, we're all about not painting with a broad brush, right? Not painting with a broad brush. Making sure that the people that are bad actors those are the bad actors, not the rest of the people. And so, I don't know. It was unexpected. I think it was a shocker. We're talking about it. Like, we would never be talking about the stinking Olympics on Bullhorn Betty channel, right? So if I'm talking about it, the freaking world's probably talking about it. So, even bad publicity is good publicity. But it sucks because, to be honest with you, I'm not turning on the Olympics. I don't care for the Olympics. I remember I used to watch the ice skating and the bars competition and stuff like that, like the gymnastics aspect of it. I used to love those things. And it's sad because I will never watch it. Trust me, I'm a very stubborn woman. When I'm done, I'm done. And I don't really care. I haven't watched the Olympics in many years. It wasn't like I was going to actually watch the Olympics this year. But I got to tell you, seeing that horrible display and hearing about it and reading about it and listening to it on just about all these news that's unacceptable to me. And all the Christian countries that were a part of this Olympics should have been outraged. Absolutely should have been outraged. And quite frankly, I think that was negligent on the Olympics part, on whoever set that up. I really do. Yank tech ads. Yeah, U.S. Tech yank tech ads. Yeah, but at that point, it's almost too late because most of these things are already solidified in stone. But there's a usually in these things, there's morality clauses or other types of clauses to help people get out or get out of the deal. So maybe that is something that our U.S. partners need to be looking at and pulling their stuff, suing them. Because I got to tell you, there's a lot of Christians across this world. Okay? I mean, no offense, but there's more Christians across this world than there are, trans people or people that dress in drag. Are there a lot of people that lives that lifestyle? Of course there are. But they're still a minority. So you just pissed off the majority of the people to appease the minority. That's not a good look. It's not a good look. I just felt like, it's not like it's not like drag shows would shock the heck out of all of us, right? But they could have done it in better taste. They did this in poor taste. Do you think it helped their cause or hindered their cause? You know? So really, at the end of the day, it just did a disservice and probably caused a lot of people in the LGBTQ community to be harassed for no reason because of this stupid Olympics. But nobody thinks about them. It just sucks. It just sucks. Anyways, I'm not going to bend your ear too much. We were able to get a good hour just on this alone. I don't know what the fate of TikTok is. I can tell you from this article, could it be some trial strategy, some legal maneuvering, something to, to make it, get more power to the punch, make a mountain out of the molehill, so to speak. I don't know. It made me say, this ain't looking good for TikTok. And it is making me question whether TikTok will be able to survive this. So all of my social media creators that are friends and foes, if you're on TikTok, you may want to start diversifying before it becomes too late. You might want to start asking your users to start hitting you up on other social media sites. Well, come here. I'll get you. Come on. All right, well, you can just cry. I'm getting off anyways, and then we'll go play. All right, she's wanting to play, so let me go ahead and she's been a very good girl. She's been very patient, and she's sitting under the table, and she's not even crying. She's waiting patiently for me to get off this live, but I hope you guys got something out of it. Again, I don't know what the fate is of TikTok. Let me just go over here and just look at a couple of things just to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, LPW Stage 3 Survivor. Again, congratulations on your Survivor tag. Congratulations on that. Gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell her thank you. And JC, World of Wonders, never know what's next. And it says fist bump. Thank you. Fist bump back to you. All right, guys, I love you. Let me just get back to my messages. Here we go. All right, guys, I know I didn't say hi. Oh, Angela, well, first time watching. Well, congratulations. I'm Bullhorn Betty, and this is Bullhorn Betty actually Bullhorn Betty's channel. And then we have a Crime Stories channel, too. And we usually talk about true crime, but I'm also a TikToker. And, honestly, this does kind of affect me. And then, I'm a Christian, and I just went to church this morning, and this whole Paris thing really upsets me. So I'm kind of, it's kind of like, embrace, what does it say? What did my friend call it? She says, embrace the suck. That's what she always says, embrace the suck. So it seems like we're going to have to be embracing some suck, as we're rolling through these election cycles and people, but I'm all about avocation, but there's a time and a place. I think it was poor. I think it was a poor decision. It was poorly done, and it was very insightful and triggering to a lot of people. And I think that that's not really what you want to have at something like the World Olympics, I know the World Olympics probably isn't getting as much notoriety as it once did, with social media. I don't know how many, I can't recall the last time anybody said, oh my gosh, did you watch the Olympics? I remember there was a time when everybody in America watched the Olympics and watched the tryouts and watched them competing, because we didn't have social media. We had TV, and, most of us had our own programs and stuff like that, but you watched whatever was put in the TV. So, if you're watching ABC and you're watching your program, they would cancel their whole programming, so you'd be forced to watch the Olympics. So you kind of, learn to enjoy it. And now we have social media. I don't recall the last time I've heard somebody say, oh my gosh, did you see the Olympian, what they did, I can't remember talking about the Olympics since the 90s and early 2000s, honestly. It's been a while. It's been a while. Mm. Oh, did I see Steffers in the house? Hey, Steffers, it's nice to see you, my love. Used to matter when they were proud of their country. Yeah. But you know what? It's our education that made people so turn against our country, right? We are one of the freest, like, people have never been to a third world country. They've never been to Venezuela. They've never been, and I haven't either, but I've studied it. Like, I've studied socialism and communism. You know, I've studied it. It's not pretty. We own nothing. Like, I'm sorry, right now, American people own this shit. Excuse my language on a Sunday. But we own this. Okay? The other type of government, they own us. You guys get it? You want to know why we don't like socialism and communism? Because we own nothing. Our government owns it. I'm sorry. I worked my butt off. My government ain't taking my stuff. You know? These young kids have nothing. Why? Because they vote horribly and they're broke. So maybe they like the idea of having a bunch of stuff that they didn't earn, but the people that actually earned it don't really care for that kind of, you know, because we went out and earned it. Right? And I get we have to take care of our sick and our weak. You know, that's part of being an American. It's part of loving thy neighbor. And we pay a hefty amount of taxes to take care of our neighbor when they're sick or hurt. You know? But we got to get this country back to God, because this, I never thought in a million years I would have heard or seen that at an Olympics. Where's the professionalism anymore? Like, did everybody just forget about professionalism? Common courtesy? You know? Caring about, like, we're supposed to care about everybody else's, you know, feelings and everything like that. But, hey, let's just, I don't know. I give up. I'm not watching the Olympics. You know, I haven't watched them in years. It's not going to really affect me, but it was a horrible display, and I think they should be shunned. I don't think that our Olympics should ever be back in Paris, France, ever again. I think that state, that country should be shunned for at least 25 years over this. I really do. That's how I feel. Shunned. They can participate, but they can never host. Shunned. All right, guys, God bless you. We'll rock it out with your coffee beans out. We'll talk again probably sometime tomorrow morning if I get up and can't go to sleep, right? We will be rolling out of here in the near future to make our way to Tennessee and see what we can do. I also have some exciting information about something else going on. It's not really exciting. It's sad, but it's exciting because we're going to be able to help. And this is going to be something, I'm not going to go into it too much, but hopefully assist in a case that is a little bit older than what we're accustomed to. And I'm kind of excited to get my feet wet on something like that, because, you know, we always seem to, you know, have cases that are current. And, you know, they go unsolved, and then we lose track, and then we come back, and then we lose track, and we come back, and we lose track. Well, this is a case that never even really got a whole lot of airspace. There's 2 cases that have gotten literally 0 to no airspace. But that's all I'm going to be willing to say right now. When I get out to Tennessee, I might say more. That's all I'm saying. So we will talk soon. I hope everybody has a lovely Sunday. Please pray for the world, but more importantly, pray for our American citizens and pray for America, because in my opinion, whether we're religious or not, and, you know, spiritual, whatever, we are in a very much a spiritual war right now. I truly believe it. I believe that there is a war on Christian values. And I got to tell you, in my opinion, and the people I see are some of the most tolerable people and accepting people, and always very curious and try to do better. And I don't see what is so wrong with that, but apparently some people do. Anyways, God bless. Be easy, but don't be sleazy. God bless. God bless. God bless.